Hello neighbor, Alicia Dolan here at Creating in My Corner. I am live and here for our Stampin' Sunday free card class. So first of all, happy St. Patrick's Day. I know that is going on. I'm trying to get all my, I had to update my subscription a little bit, and so I'm in the process of getting everything connected, and I am remembering there were some things I did last time, and I'm trying to figure out what they were. Are they showing the background? Let's see. No. I know that the last time I could, put my picture down in the corner. Maybe this way? Oh, now I'm side by side. Let's see. I'm trying to side by side's not really what I want. I really want that little picture in the corner. If you are watching me and you could comment and let me know, that would be really great. I know that there was a way I did this, and I can't remember how it was. Okay, so let's see. No, I don't want a separate window. I don't want a network camera. All right, so I may just switch back and forth between the two because I want you to be able to see all of what I'm doing, not just me. Let's see, show height, sub modes, camera effects. I'm gonna have to figure out how I did that the last time. I know there was a way. I don't need that. Maybe I can I move? No. Well, that's a little better, I think. I don't know. I don't know if you can, I don't see any comments yet, so I'm not sure that you can see me. But I'll be turning to the side anyways. I really wanted to get one of these cameras to be little in the corner. I don't know how to do that. I don't remember. Select all. Well, I did at least have a split screen there for a minute. Oh, there we go. Okay, let's go back to that because I feel like that is at least that's at least pretty good. I don't know how to make one little tiny like I did last time. I must have researched it a little better than I did this time. Okay, so all right. So here we are. I'm going to, all right, I'm gonna switch it back to this. So let me know if that works for you or if it doesn't. It looks like maybe someone is watching, but I can't tell for sure. So if you need me to make this screen here bigger, if you will need to see better what I'm working on, would you just comment and let me know? Actually, I'll just switch to that camera anyway, because you don't really need to see me while I'm doing this. I just thought it would be fun, and I can't figure it out this time. So there we go, right? Okay, so here is what we're working on tonight. I thought that I just got this stamp set, and I had seen a really cool card online. I do not remember where it was or who made it, but I thought that we would try to copy it tonight, at least to the best of my ability. So first what we're going to need is, and if you're stamping along with me, we're using some basic white, some pebbled path, and we'll use some, hopefully some pebbled path ink. I haven't put everything away from my card class yet, so I might not have everything I need, but we will soon see. All right, so we're going to take a piece of thick basic white, and I thought that we could make a card with some tools today. Now, you can swap it out, and it does not necessarily have to be for a dad, but I know that I will need a Happy Father's Day card coming up, so that's the stamp set that I am going to use. Okay, so we're going to put our basic white in here at 5.5, and we're going to cut that. And as you can see, I'm wearing my green. This is my green for St. Patrick's Day today. However, all right, I've moved it to 4.25, and I'm going to score it there. It is snowing outside. I don't know if anyone else is having this issue with the weather, but here in Michigan, in Davison, it is snowing. And I actually took my Girl Scout troop this morning. We went to a local nature preserve, and we learned all about maple syrup. And I can tell you, I did not expect it to be as cold as it was. We, including the poor little Girl Scouts, were freezing. And it took quite a while afterwards to warm back up. I did come home and have some hot chocolate, and I stopped and got something warm to eat, so that was at least helpful. All right, now this is our pebbled path, and we are going to cut this at 5.25, and then we're going to turn it and cut it at 4. I don't know if you find this or not, but I have a lot of trouble making men's cards. I don't make as many as I do for women, but I guess that's just, it's easier because the women are more, in general, I should say, they're more apt to keep a card too, and so I feel a little more steady about that. Now over here on the side, I have my Big Shot, and so I've got my metal plate 3D embossing folder here, and I'm going to put my pebbled path in there, and I'm going to run it through that embossing machine. Let's see, you might want to see that, so let me pull it up here. Now the one that I have is the Big Shot. It's a little bit older. I say a little bit. This Big Shot of mine is probably, well, it's the original one I got, and so it's probably around 15 years old, which is, I guess, not super old, but it's not new by any means. All right, so when we use this, we're going to put our embossing folder in. And when you're embossing, you always want to put this fold through your machine first. If you put it the other way, it's much more likely that the fold will break, and you don't want that. So we're going to put that in and put the specialty plate on top. Now Stampin' Up! Does sell that specialty plate. I can tell that I did not get that on the right setting because it did not emboss. Well, it did just a tiny bit. So what I need to do is flip my tab 1 open and then run it through. It did not quite emboss the way it should have. All right, so there is our embossed piece of Pebble Path. We're going to need that. And we're just going to scoot this back over to the side. We may need it again, but not right in this second. All right, and then we're going to need a piece of basic white. And I've got kind of a big piece here. And what I want to do is kind of figure out what size my stamps are here. So we've got a paintbrush, a hammer, a wrench, all kinds of little doodads. Okay, and I do want to tell you that I have seen that a lot of people just take these out and place them over top of those images that are printed right on to the case. So you could do that if you don't want to deal with all these extra pieces of clear stuff. I don't even know what they're called. Probably acetate, maybe. All right, so what I want to do next is grab a circle. And I need a really big circle. Or maybe I don't. Maybe I don't. All right, so let's not do that. I'm going to cut a piece here of this basic white that is 3.5 by 4 3/4. Okay, and then we're going to do some stamping, and I'm kind of just, I'm kind of making this up as I go. So hopefully we will get what we need here. I'm going to grab my Stampin' Pierce mat. I did see someone else who had made a card like this, but I couldn't find it. I don't know where it is. All right, I need a circle. And some Pebble Path and some blocks. So I'm just going to set these up here for right now. I may need to move them later. I hope that everyone is doing well tonight. I still don't see any comments, so I hope that you can see me and hear me. I'm just going to grab one of these circles. I feel like that one's about the right size. Just to give me a good idea where I need to stamp now. Okay, and so then I'm going to lay out some of these stamps just to see where they can go. And some of them might overlap here in the center, but I feel like that's going to be okay. So here's the paintbrush. We've got, let's see. There is a wrench. So some of these are going to be pretty big. All right, let's just I'm just going to go ahead and do this, and we'll see how it turns out, okay? So we're going to put our paintbrush here. Now, they may overlap in the center, and that's going to be okay. It's going to be fine. So, all right, I need a little scrap piece here to stamp on. Because you know I always like to test stamp, especially with new stamps. I just got these, so it's kind of a new thing. All right, so we're going to put this first one. I'm kind of moving it a little bit closer to me, so hopefully you can see that all right. I'm going to put it right here. Okay, and I'm going to leave it on there because I might need another one. I'm just not sure yet how it's going to work out. All right, next I'm grabbing the hammer. And I'm going to grab a Post-it note on my little notes over here. Except I don't have any open. What am I doing here? Where's all my Post-it notes? I don't know. All right. Okay, I'm going to put this Post-it note down. Just because I don't want it to go too far on the other side there. We're going to practice stamp. That's good. Hope that everyone is doing well today. Hopefully you're staying warm. Okay, there's our hammer. And then let's do the wrench next. Okay. And we'll make it go like that. Hopefully this is going to turn out okay. I'm a little worried about it. But we'll see, right? You never know. So I feel like I should have one going straight down. So let's see if we can find, there's a pencil in here. Let's use that skinny little pencil for this part. I'm going to put that on my paper pumpkin block. And I'm going to let the pencil point down, I think. Okay. Oh, somehow I smudged on there. That's all right. We're going to keep going. We're going to make that work somehow. Okay. Let me clean those off because I have a feeling we're going to need those again. These little Simply Chamois are really great. So if you don't have a Simply Chamois, you definitely want to have one of those. see. All right, so far, I think we're doing pretty good with our tools here. Let's see, what else do we have? We've got a tape measure. I feel like we can put that in there, but I think one of our tools we're going to have to use twice. So let's see, what tool do we think we need the most? Not we have to use the most. I don't know. I know that I am always using a hammer. I use a hammer a lot around here, and I also use pliers. So I'm kind of surprised there's no pliers in this set, but we'll have to make do. So maybe we'll, well, I don't know. Maybe we should put a second hammer in there. What do you think? I think that's probably the next most used tool. Well, maybe a tape measure, but I don't want to put two of them right next to each other. I feel like that would be a little bit ridiculous. All right, so I feel like the tape measure should go this way, not upside down, but we're going to go upside down just because we need it to fit in here. All right, so here is our tape measure. And then I guess we will go with the hammer next because I don't see, there's some little screws, but I don't think we need those. They're not actually the right kind of tool. So if I were to do this again, when I do this again, I'll plan it out so that 1, 2, 3, 4, so that the 5 are spaced out a little more evenly. So if you are stamping along later and you don't want your tools to be odd, like mine are, then you'll probably want to space them out a little different. All right, so here we go. We're going to put our hammer right here. And they might not all be spaced perfectly. They're a little askew, but it's okay. All right. And so now we need a circle. And I think we're going to put let's see, should we put Dad on the front and Happy Father's Day in the middle? Or we could put You're the Most Awesome. Let's see. All right, so we're going to need a bigger circle. Let me see what I've got over here in my little bit of circles. See, I feel like that's a little too big, isn't it? It's going to cover up our, but that's the right size for the Dad. All right, so here we go, and we're gonna stamp again. We'll be a little faster this time though, because we need our Dad to go in that circle. All right. And now that gives us the opportunity to space our things out. So we've got 5 tools. So we can do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? So we just won't have 2 that are straight across from. You know what? I'm gonna cut another piece, and we're gonna leave that one out so that we can kind of figure out what we want to do with that. Maybe we should put the pencil straight up first. I don't know, because that's the most even one. All right, so now we're going to cut another piece that's 3.5 by 4 3/4. Sometimes when you're stamping, you got to make some adjustments, right? You got to redo your plan a little bit. Don't worry, that paper will not go to waste. We're just going to make a little different, something a little different. Okay, here is our Post-it note. And I'm starting to think maybe we don't even need that, right? Okay, so here's our pencil. And let's see. All right, I'm gonna put these down here. I'm gonna put these two taller tools down here, I think. So we'll do the hammer at the bottom, and then the wrench on this side. Okay. Here is our paintbrush. Oh, and I still didn't plan for the measuring tape to be right side up. But it's okay. That's all right. It's all going to work out. And we'll put our measuring tape over here. Who measures right side up all the time anyways? No one, right? Okay, let's clean those off. Ooh, tossing things around just a little bit. Okay, so now we have our little tools, and see they do they stick out a little bit, not quite as much as I had hoped. I can't even tell that measuring tape is measuring tape, but it's all right. It's okay. All right. I'm gonna have to go back and try to find that other, the other thing I saw. All right, so now we're gonna stamp the dad on this circle. We're gonna practice stamp here. All right, and we're gonna try to stamp right in the center. Okay, so now let's see what we've got, where we're at. So we've got this piece, that's gonna go first, and then this one. And sometimes I put them right in the center, but I think this time, maybe it would be good off to the side. Let's try it and see. And then our dad is going to go right here. Do you think that circle's a little too big? I don't think so. Does anyone have a, let's see. I think that'll be all right. Okay, so now the one that I saw did not have any of the tools colored. But I do feel like, oh, I don't know if we should stamp them again. I feel like they're not quite out as far as I would like them to be. All right, we're just gonna go with it. Are we? No. All right, I don't see any comments right now, so I'm just gonna do what I would do if I were stamping by myself, and I'm gonna stamp it all one more time. I know that that's probably a little, I'm probably taking it a little too far, but this is the way I stamp when I'm stamping for myself or for someone else. I really like things to be the way that I pictured them in my head. So we're gonna do it again, and this time I'm gonna make sure my measuring tape goes right side up. And so I'm gonna put it down here in the corner, probably as close to the corner as I can get it. And it's not pointing straight up, but I like it better that it's closer to that corner. All right, so there's that. Let's do our paintbrush next. Okay, and now you're getting some real insight into why sometimes it takes me a really long time to make a card. I sometimes can push through and go with something that's not quite my favorite, but it's really hard for me. All right. Now see, I'm not even using the Post-it note this time. I probably should be, but I'm not. It's all gonna work out. Okay. And then where's the rest? Okay. So I think that's a lot better. I know it's only a small difference, but I do like that better. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to take these little nuts and we're going to stamp some of those around, nuts and bolts, because you for sure need some of those when you're working with tools. So I'm actually going to stamp them off. So I'm going to stamp off and then just stamp on my paper. Oh, that one didn't turn out right. Let's see. There we go. Okay, so now we've got our little tools, our little nuts and bolts, and I'm going to close up my ink. And now we're going to put our card together. Now we do need some kind of little pop of color, but I haven't figured out where that is going to come in yet. All right, so we're going to glue this right down on the top. And our favorite turtle, Mortimer, is coming over to help us. And we'll put our glue on. We're going to do a thin line around the edge. Now notice I'm not getting super close to the edge, but I'm not super close to the middle either. It's really, your glue placement is really important because you do not want it to ooze out the edges. Alright, so now we're going to layer that down. And we're just going to center that. And press it down for a minute. Now it will take just a tiny bit longer to stick really tight because of all that embossing on it. Hi Sharon, if that's you watching. I see your name popped up there. I hope you're still there. I don't know if you are or not. Okay, and then I think, let's see, do we want it to be in the center or on the edge? I think maybe in the center. And then this is going to go over top, but we definitely need some color in there. Let me see what I've got for ribbon. Let's see. Okay, I don't know if this is a current ribbon or not, but I feel like, oh, no, I don't like that with that color. Let's see, let's try this blue. I feel like that would be good. So we are going to take some of this blue ribbon. This is boho blue. This is one of the in colors ribbons. And we need some blue dots. Blue dots are my favorite thing to stick on a ribbon with. And we're just going to make it a little bit longer than our piece of paper here. I've got some snips right over here to the side. I'm just going to trim off that edge. And we're going to stick a blue dot on either end of our ribbon. I feel like I'm fumbling a little with my fingers tonight. That's kind of how it goes sometimes. Alright, and we're just going to stick it in the center. Now this is not the center of the paper, but it's kind of centered between those tools a little bit. Alright, and then I want to put some dimensionals on here. So I'm going to put them, and I have little mini dimensionals right now just because that's what's closest to me. So I'll probably have to use a few more than I would if I were using the regular size. Okay, there's those. And we're going to peel that off. Now, if you were watching my last video, which would have been, let's see, March 3rd, because now it's the 17th, right? You probably have subscribed to my email, and you may have noticed that I did not get that email out. I wrote the tutorial, and I had all kinds of trouble trying to add it into the email. I just could not get it to work this last time. So I don't know what happened, but I may have to change the way I send out tutorials. I don't know. Because I tried and tried to adjust it, and it just would not work. Alright, so there is that. And then I feel like we need some, oh, it definitely needs something, doesn't it? Maybe some, let's see. Don't really want to tie a bow, but I feel like it needs maybe some little gems of some sort. Let's see, let's see. Okay, how about, do we think some of these, I feel like those are maybe the wrong color. Okay, how about if we use some of these in color dots? I feel like I'm being really indecisive tonight, so I don't know if you ever have a crafting night like that, but sometimes I feel like it's really hard to get it together. Okay, so these are the 2023 to 2025 in color dots. And so there are two little blue ones here that match our ribbon. Let's use those. And sometimes it's hard even to decide where to put them. Okay, so there's two little blue dots. And let's use one of these pebbled path dots here. There we go. Came off a little easier when I put the other. Well, I wonder if I should have put one. Oh, let's see. Maybe I can pick that one off. Can I? Yeah. And I want to move that blue one over here. And I'm going to put this pebbled path one up there. All right, I like that better. I like it better with those dots. Can you see that? I think those are pretty cool. And actually, let's add a few more. Let's do two more of those little gray dots. Let's put one down here. And then maybe a little tiny one. Where should it go? All right, little dot. I guess you'll get to go over here. I kind of wish I'd moved you a little farther. But I'm not going to try and move that dot a second time, because I feel like that would be folly, right? That would be not a wise choice. Okay, so here is our card for tonight. There is the first one. So let's see. Let me put those away, and then we will try to do a second one that's kind of quick. That one took a little bit longer because I had so much trouble deciding what we were going to do, right? That's not always the case, but every once in a while I get indecisive. I'm sure I'm not the only one who has that problem. Okay, so let's put these. I'm just going to clean them off, and I'll put them away later. I'll put away the ones I need to, and then I'll just set them off to the side over here. Still don't see any comments, but I can see that someone is watching, so thank you for watching. I'm glad that you're here with me. So let's do one more card, and this time I'm going to use some Uh, sorry about that. I got a little frog in my throat. Let's use some designer series paper. All right, this is the Meandering Meadows. Is it called that? Yes. Meandering Meadows Designer Series paper. Now, there are new papers that have come out since this one, but I love this one. It's one of my favorite papers ever. Okay, I felt the same way about the Horizons paper. I love that too. I really did. Okay, so I'm gonna grab a, let's see. Let's use some Blackberry Bliss paper. This is so pretty. And we have a white card that's already cut over here. So we'll just put it in. And now this is the second card, like the second half of the paper of the first one. So we're going to put it in at 4 1/4. And score that. Come on, scoop it to the side. We can just fold this in half. And then this paper is really so pretty that I hate to cover it up with anything. It's just really pretty. So I think that what we will do is we'll cut a piece of Blackberry Bliss. This is probably one of my favorite colors besides blue. And you know that I love blue, right? That's my first favorite always, my first love, blue. But this Blackberry Bliss is super pretty. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to cut a piece that's 5 7/8 by 4 1/8. I hope I did that right. Yep. Okay, so we're making it so that it's just smaller than the card, and then our paper is going to be the same way. So if this is 5 7/8 by 4 1/8, our paper needs to be 4 by 5 1/4. Is that right? All right, I think I told you the wrong measurement for that first one. Let me double check. Yeah. So not 5 7/8, it's 5 3/8. Okay, so 5 3/8 by 4 1/8. And then we've got 4 by 5 1/4. And I really want more of the sky in this one than the ground. So I'm going to turn it and cut off this bottom part. Now the back of this paper is really pretty too. It's a really nice neutral green. You can use that for any number of things. Okay, so here is our paper. And I just think this is so pretty. And this is the Comforting Thoughts stamp set. Let's see if I can bring it up close. These sayings are perfect for comfort cards. Okay, so if you know someone who is going through something and you need to send them a card, you can make up some cards pretty quick with this Meandering Meadows paper and this Comforting Thoughts stamp set. Now, then all you would need, you could put a little strip on there, but we're going to choose one of our little thingamabobs here, thingamabobs, die cuts. So first we have to figure out which thing we want to say. And I think we're just going to go with this little wishing you comfort. Okay, so what we need is a smaller block, and we'll put this measuring tape away over here. And this is a card that you could send for any number of things. There are so many reasons why we might need a little comfort. People are going through things all the time, more than we know. Like we know some about their hard times, but we can't know everything. So it doesn't hurt to send a little card and send a little comfort. All right, I have from the Thoughtful Expressions dies, I have some of these small dies cut out. Can you see that? It's just a little die. And actually for a different class, I had cut out some of these Blackberry Bliss ones. Now, I keep all of my little cutouts, the little extras, in envelopes. And they stay in the little box with my 6x6 Designer Series paper so that I can use them whenever I find I have a need to make a quick card. So sometimes I'll have the right thing, other times I have to cut a little something out. And I think we are going to cut out a little heart from the Give It a Whirl set too. But first, let's stamp this sentiment here, and I will get my Blackberry Bliss ink. I'm pretty sure I have a Blackberry Bliss. I cannot find it. I don't think I have the full one. Now, this weekend I was organizing, and I made these little labels out of sticker paper on my Cricut to go on the back of each of my little Stampin' spots. So if you are like me and you store your Stampin' spots upside down in a little case, then you wouldn't know what colors you have unless you flip each one over. And I can tell you that gets old. So if you have a Cricut and you'd like me to send you the file for that, I will try to figure out how. I don't really know. I've never sent a file from Cricut anywhere. But it's really nice, and you do want to store your inks upside down because that helps the ink stay on the surface of the stamp pad instead of sinking to the bottom. Okay, and so what we're going to do with our little Blackberry Bliss ink pad is we're going to tap it on here. And I can tell that it's needing a little extra refill. But I haven't got a refill yet. It's on my list. It's coming. Or maybe not coming, but it's on my list of things to get. Alright, and if you heard that little heavy breathing, I just hopped on my stamp set a little bit. Alright, and I'm not gonna stamp off because I know that my ink is running low. I'm gonna hope that this stamps properly the first time. If not, we might have to use black. But I think that turned out okay. Alright, so now we have our stamp. I'm looking for a place to put that where it won't be lost or ink up something else. Okay, so now we have our little stamp set, we've got this and our paper. And I am just going to get a little heart. We're going to cut out a little heart using some blackberry bliss. And we've got some extra little pieces right here. So let's grab our Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. I have really filled up my workspace tonight, as you can see. So I'm going to cut off to the side. I'll be back. I am still here. This is the part where, like, if you could see me, here, let's see. I can switch for a second. Hello, friends. So over here on the side is where I keep my Stampin'. It's not a Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. It is a Big Shot. And I'm looking for my Give It a Whirl die. It's right here. Okay, here, let's, how did I do that before when we were side by side? I don't remember. Right, I'm going to switch you back so you can see you can just see the workspace while we're working here. Okay, and in the Give It a Whirl dies are actually 4 different sizes of hearts. So I'm just going to do 2 little ones, 2 of the littlest ones, and we'll see which one we like best. I'm going to run those through real quick. Once I find the top plate, I must have put somewhere else. Oh, right. Okay, so here are our 2 little hearts. I still don't see any comments. It looks like maybe you're still there watching, but I don't see any comments. So I hope that you are seeing the right thing. Okay, there's our little hearts. I put back away the extras, the dies. All right, and so now we can put our little card together. And I wanted to show you something kind of cool. This is just a little trick. Anyone can use it. So these 2 dies are the same shape, and there are more sizes of this inside the die, but I didn't want the die that was bigger than this because it was a little too much bigger for me. So what I'm going to do is cut this die in half, and then we're going to glue it back together so that each edge has a little border. Each side edge. You could do 2 and make the edge go all the way around, but that wasn't my plan for tonight. As you can hear, my voice is starting to it's a little funny. Maybe all that walking around in the woods with the Girl Scouts this morning kind of did me in. Okay, so now that... Oh, hi, Brenda. Good, I'm glad. I really like little tricks. Okay, so there's one side. See that, how I just stuck it out a little bit. And then we're going to glue on the other side. Sometimes you just need that little bit of an edge to kind of lift your sentiment up off the paper. I kind of smudged that ink a little bit. It didn't dry as quick as I Thought it would. Or maybe my hands are damp or sweaty. I don't know. Who knows? And then with that liquid glue, you can always scoot it just a hair before you put it on. I don't like how my ink smeared right there, so I'm just going to use a little white eraser and try to get some of that off. There we go. I guess I should let it sit a little bit longer. I've never had that trouble with that blackberry bliss ink before. Okay, so now we're going to put some glue on here. And remember, when you're putting on your glue, you just want to go a thin line around the edge. And you want to keep it really thin and pretty smooth. And then a squiggle in the middle. Because if it globs up, then it's gonna bend your paper. And it'll make it look kind of not nice. Okay, so now we're gonna center that just like this. Isn't that paper so pretty? I love this paper so much. It makes cards so easy. All right, and then we're gonna pop up this whole layer. And let's see. I don't know where my bigger dimensionals are. I probably put them away somewhere after my class, so now I don't know where they are. Okay. And I will be sending out an email this week. I don't know why the tutorial would not work the last time with the pictures in it. So if I cannot get the pictures to attach this time, I'll still send out the tutorial, and then I'll put a link to the video on YouTube, so then you can see the pictures, and I can put it on. I always put the pictures up on Facebook too. Well, I shouldn't say always. I do try to, so that you'll be able to see them there. All right, so now remember that our border is really thin this time. So when you're sticking down your card, you really got to be careful. You got to be watching how close you are to the edges. Okay, because there's just that teeny, see how there's just that teeny skinny border this time. All right, and then we're going to pop up our center. Look at that, it's smudged again. All right, I got to use my eraser one more time. I have found that a white eraser generally works best for getting off some of those extra ink smudges. It does not remove everything, but it does help. Okay, that's a little better. It must not have dried perfectly right. All right, so now we're going to put this down here at the bottom. I think we're going to put it right in the middle. And I'm going to put that on dimensionals too. Just because I like to. Okay. And maybe I'll put it a little bit off to the side so that our hearts can go over on the left side of that. And I think we'll put those right here. All right, so that first heart, I'm going to put a dimensional here in the corner. And then a little glue dot on the other side. Okay, so then it can stick down right here. And we'll put this one over here. Now this little one, you do have to be careful with your glue dot lip because it's really teeny tiny. Ooh, I keep banging into my camera. Eventually I'm gonna figure out that it's right there next to me. All right, so we're gonna put that right there, and then we're gonna take our Wink of Stella brush, and now this is not gonna do a ton to our little hearts, but it is gonna add a little bit of sparkle. So wait until you can see. And then I hope you can see that little bit of glitter adding on there. And sometimes you have to do it maybe twice. If I tilt it to the side, you can see it a little bit better maybe. It just depends on how glittery you want it to be. So there is that little glittery heart. And I'm only going to do one so that it looks a little different from the other one. And then, let me see where I put those. In our 2023 to 2025 in color dots, there's this moody mauve color, and I really think that will go pretty with our Blackberry Bliss paper. So let's add one here, and then a couple up here in the sky. And I don't know if you saw or not, but if you hold your embellishments like this and kind of bend your paper just slightly, when you go to scoop those gems off there, they come off really easy. Whereas if you're pushing down on them on the table, sometimes they stay stuck a little more than I would like them to. All right, so there are our 2 cards for tonight, and they're all finished. So again, our first one was this one here, and you could switch it out or you could add something to the inside. I'm probably going to put Happy Father's Day on the inside of mine, but it's blank right now. So there's our first one, and then this is the second one for tonight. So I will be sending those emails out this week with those directions and with the directions from the first one. Now, like I said, I might not be able to get the pictures in there, but you can always come back and find them on Facebook or on YouTube once I figure out how to post these videos there from here. So, I hope that you enjoyed that tonight. My next class in person will be the 3rd Friday of the month, and I haven't actually looked to see what date that is yet. It's usually like the 19th or the 18th. It's always on the 3rd Friday. There's a class at noon or a class at 6. So, and I limit those to 6 people because they're here in my home, and that way I can help everyone if they have any questions, and it doesn't get as overwhelming. So if you want to sign up for that, you can. You should be able to find the RSVP link on my website. I'll make sure that my Stampin' Up website is up to date. As far as I know, the plan for those cards, I'd really like to use the Comforting Thoughts stamp set and probably some flower paper. I do really like that designer series paper. So, oh, thank you, Brenda. I'm glad you like them. So I will see you, hopefully I will see you soon. Thanks, Kathy. Oh, it's good. I'm glad to see your comments, ladies. That makes me feel good. Um, I'll be back the first Sunday of next month, so I do these lives the first and the third Sunday, or you can join me for in-person class on the third Friday. I'll see you later. Happy stamping!